I'm gonna be direct.
To get that stuff.
I'm gonna be direct. Are you afraid of working for yourself?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I think right now, I think you could be working for yourself within the year. I legitimately think you could be working for yourself within the year. And making and not like literally quitting your day job and working for yourself type of deal within the year. I legitimately think that. I don't necessarily. I'm not recommending you take a business class by any means because they are outdated as fuck. But literally, all it would take for you is just a little bit of business know-how, which would come from jumping into it. And I think you could. And I think you could do it. And
I really want to. The only thing that's ever held me back is just financial stuff.
Okay, so what do you? I don't want to get too personal, obviously. Like, I don't want to ask you, like, oh, what bills are you paying right now? Like, what's holding you back? But is there anything specifically holding you back financially right now? As far as like just rent. Okay. So you're paying rent. So you're paying rent in your car with your day job right now.
Yeah. Among other smaller things, but those are the big ones. Is rent in my car.
Sure. So, how much? Okay, so right now, how much are you making a month off of art?
Off of art?
Yeah, off of art.
Recently, less, just because I've been working a lot. But in the past, I have made, I think, an upwards of almost $700 a month. When I'm really when it's like really grinding the stone and burning the midnight oil, I can make about $700 a month. Okay. But that is through commissions. And the problem with commissions is that it's not a very consistent income, not a very consistent or stable income. But a lot of artists on Twitter and on Tumblr and every other art fucking website with large followings and with stuff like Patreon and TipJar are able to comfortably make a living doing art. Yes. So those are big ones. It's going to be especially Patreon. Patreon introduces stability. That would be awesome. So I believe am your only patron on Patreon. Or I was. Didn't you shut it down or something? Or like I disabled it or something? Stuff. Yeah. I disabled it for a bit, Yeah,
I was your only patron on Patreon because you weren't plugging it there for a while.
I wasn't really advertising that much.
No, I don't think you're advertising it at all.
I used Ko-fi for a bit. Ko-fi's really good.
I forgot about Ko-fi. I think so. Here's the deal. How many? So when you were making $700 a month off of commissions, how many commissions was that?
Like maybe 12.
12. Okay.
12 to 15. And because the commissions range in price, depending on what they want. But yeah, it's about 12 or 15 commissions in a month.
Did you feel like you could do? So how many hours a week were you working on commissions? Would you say?
A week?
Sure. Yeah.
Every single day. Maybe 20 hours a week. Maybe
20 hours a week. Okay.
Yeah.
Then alongside your full-time job.
Yeah, I've almost always had a full-time job as well.
So what I'm thinking is your time is worth more than you're charging.
Absolutely.
And so I think whenever you're getting 12 to 15 commissions a month, I think you could raise your price to the point where you're getting maybe 10 to 12 instead of 12 to 15. But but to the point where you're making even more than you were making with 12 to 15.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when it gets to the point where you are making a name for yourself and you can charge even more than that, then you charge even more for that. And focusing on the different things, and that's where growth is going to come in. That's where 3,000 Twitter followers is nothing to scoff at, but that's where going from 3,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 and onwards is that your work is going to become the demand for your work is going to go up. Even if I know you are super hard on yourself, way harder than the normal person that should be on oneself when it comes to the quality of your art. I think your art's fantastic. I don't think you give yourself enough credit, but let's say you don't feel like you're improving, but the demand is still going up, you should still increase your prices, even if you don't feel like you're getting better, because your time is becoming more valuable, and people who want it are going to have to want it more than somebody else.
Yeah.
And then that's when you start. Then that's when you're going to start actually seeing like an increase in income. Because once you get to the point, once you get to a certain point, you're going to realize, oh fuck, if I went from doing 40 hours of full-time job and 20 hours of art a week to instead doing 40 hours of art a week, I'd be making more money and working less. One day you're going to cross that threshold, and that's the day.
That will be the day that I fucking like shit myself from happiness.
Yeah, that's the day you give a middle finger to your day job.
Absolutely.
And like honestly, with $700 a month with 20 hours a week, that's 80 hours a month for $700. That's, you're not that far. That's not that far. Yeah. So if you can get back to that point and then expand past that, drill past that point, and that will come with things like Twitch subscribers and patrons, and potentially YouTube ad revenue.
Yeah. I very, very badly want to break into the YouTube scene, their art scene.
All right.
Because I've been like the past like 2 weeks, I've been watching a lot of their stuff. People like Peter Draws, Jane Animations, The Odd Ones Out.
Yep.
Other artists that I can't really remember the name of because I don't watch them a whole lot. But there are people out there doing basically what I do, but just putting it on the internet.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's the only real difference, is that they're putting on the internet and adding flair to it and their personality, and it results in a viable YouTube channel or just viable content creation. And all like it's really just my lack of confidence, to be completely transparent. My lack of confidence and my lack of commitment to this particular move that is keeping me from doing that.
And I think that's okay. And I think that's relatable. I think that's what a lot of people, I think what it's keeping a lot of people back.
Jumping into it is extremely scary. And jumping and putting all like the weight on your shoulders and saying, I'm going to do this stuff and put it on the internet, and I'm going to keep doing it and keep getting better. And that's going to provide an income. That is scary.
It's terrifying, but that's the best kind of terrifying.
Yeah. And even getting like starting to succeed can be really scary for a lot of people.
Yep.
I know. I also have another book.
My man reads. Man, I gotta get on the reading scene.
Well, they're comics.
I know.
Same thing.
Practically.
So, The Fire Never Goes Out by Noelle Stevenson.
It's good.
If you've seen She-Ra, the new cartoon She-Ra, for any of the viewers, she wrote for it. But she was just an artist who was doodling and started putting it on Tumblr. And her putting it on Tumblr got her attention from agents and production companies.
Yeah.
They said, we like your stuff. We want to put it in this. We want you to illustrate for a book. We want you to write for this, voice act for that. And eventually she was just getting like opportunity, job after job after job. And in the middle of the book, she writes about how terrifying it was at one point. What things were going so well, and the fear of it all falling down and losing it all. Is a visceral like idea.
Yeah, because it's
once
it's like a man.
It's like
go ahead.
God damn it! it's like having your dream right there and you're living it, but being scared to fall through the clouds and right back down to earth and being right back where you started.
I think it's a manifestation of imposter syndrome to a certain extent.
That's a big thing that exists in the art community. Is a lot of up-and-comer and even veteran artists and content creators have awful imposter syndrome because they get to a point where things are going well and they're not sure if they're doing it correctly or if they're doing what they should be doing or if they should be doing more. Like that imposter syndrome, like overworking, burning out are such common things that happen to almost every artist because they don't know when to stop.
For sure.
Because that kind of career field, that kind of content creation is really, really difficult to maintain over time, because eventually you're going to burn out. It's just I don't want to say it's going to happen, but it's an almost ever existent.
It's hard to fight. Yeah. It's an ever lasting battle. Like it is the battle you will fight the whole time.
Yeah, it's almost inevitable that if you're a content creator, you're going to burn out. You're going to get to a point where you're going to tire yourself out in terms of creativity.
Yep.
And in just output, you're going to burn out. I've burnt out fucking like 17 times this year from pushing. Yep. And it's hard, especially for people who are doing art and also having like a day job. It's very difficult.
Yes, for sure, man. Do I know? Part of what can work really well is having multiple outlets of creativity. It's why I have 4 fucking YouTube channels now.
Yeah, your way of doing it is probably the best way I've seen it done ever.
Shit.
In terms of just for a creator, because lots of creators rely on a niche. They rely on their one thing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with doing one thing at all. Like if you're good at something, do it. Absolutely. But having multiple niches and multiple content
avenues or outlets.
Content avenues to be able to push out and to monetize if you can. Monetize all of them if you can. It's a very healthy thing, because if you do the same thing over and over again, pardon me. If you do the same thing over and over again, eventually it's going to get tiring, and you're gonna have periods where you're gonna run out of ideas and stuff like that.
Absolutely right.
And so having all that stuff to fall back on is excellent, and I think people should follow that from now on.
I appreciate it.
I think you need to put a diagram to this and really get it out there, because I think it could help a lot of creators in the long run.
What's great is you don't have to do it as extreme as I do. I do it to the point where I need 4 different YouTube channels, because I feel like the content doesn't line up with each other to the point where they can share a YouTube channel. What's great about what I think you can do is I think you can absolutely upload them all to the same channel, grow it all together, and keep it all concise, and yet still have multiple avenues of creativity that you can go through. Let's talk a little bit about it. I want to get you a YouTube plan down by the end of this.
Okay. All right.
So here's my plan when I look at what you do. I think right now your Twitch streams.
Yeah.
Your since you're just starting out, you're just experimenting. Your go-to is to do you'll take requests from chat and do doodles or whatever.
Yeah.
So here's my idea. Let's say you start taking commissions again, or you start doing commissions. You start doing a lot more commissions. Let's say you do. Let's say you take a commission, right?
Yeah.
You're getting you're already getting paid for the commission. Then you do the commission on stream, and you let's say you're commissioned a character, right? Let's say like I pay you to do a full line, color, everything drawing for a D&D character for a commission.
Yeah.
What you could do on stream is you create this character, and then what you could do is you could say, okay guys, here's how to do sketches. And you explain to chat, and you go through with chat, you say, okay guys, this is how I do my sketches. And you just do your sketch and you explain your process. And then afterwards you say, here's how I do my line arts, and you do your line arts. And here's how I do my colors, and this is how I do my colors. And then you get specific. You start to draw you do the line art of the hands. You say, okay guys, this is how I do hands. And you do a small thing about hands. And then at the end of it, you have a commission that you're paid for. And then you have a Twitch stream, which people were subbing during. And then you have a YouTube video about sketches, a YouTube video about line arts, a YouTube video about colors, a Twitch clip about hands, a Twitch clip about outfits, a Twitch clip about this and that, about choosing your colors, right? And you have all these, you have like 18 different pieces of content from one commission that you were already paid for. And all it requires is like 20 minutes of editing here and an hour of editing here to add on to it.
Yeah.
I think that's where you're going to start fucking absolutely killing it. Because I think I think education, like you said earlier, I think education is the new #1 niche in just about any creative field. Yeah. Because people are realizing that you don't need to go to college to learn how to do art.
Absolutely not. No, I would almost advise against it.
Exactly.
But there was actually a period early this year where I was considering going back to school for art.
I know. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit even.
Yeah. I basically scratched that idea.
yeah. I mean,
at least for now. At least for now. Right now, I am confident in my own ability to do what I need to do without the education.
And I think in the future, go ahead.
Yeah. I lost it. Go ahead.
That's all right. I think in the future you can have the luxury, if you will, of choosing who you want to learn from.
Oh,
rather than just picking, some art teacher at some university.
They have a lot of those programs already. They have artists, like animators, like veteran animators, veteran cartoonists and stuff who offer what they call mentorships.
Yep.
Like you pay $1,200 for like a 3-month mentorship with nice. A veteran, a person who has been in the industry for a long time and has kind of all the ins and outs of it. You pay them and they help you kind of have an idea, and that by itself is networking as well.
Yeah.
Because once you meet, let's say I did a mentorship with JG Quintel, just to throw it out there. He created a regular show.
Yeah.
Let's say I do one with him. I pay $2,000 for a 2-month program with him. Now I know JG Quintel. And I know maybe his friends, people who work for him or do the hiring process for him. Now I have a window into that area right there.
So let's think bigger. Let's think fucking bigger. Why not you create a YouTube channel, or you create a Twitch stream, or you create whatever forms of content you create, and you have part of the focus of that content be education, and you're teaching people how to draw and do art. Then when we set up your Patreon again, one of your high tiers is an hour session with you, and you sit down with somebody.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, there you go. And people are paying you $100 an hour, $200 an hour to sit down with you and learn some art. Then you'd be cooking. Then you'd be fucking cooking.
There's some spice on that.
Yeah. You getting excited thinking about this shit?
Absolutely.
I'm getting fucking pumped thinking about this shit.
Anytime I talk with anyone about this, whether it's with you, a friend, or my girlfriend, I always get extremely excited talking about it.
Good. I think
because the more I talk about it, the more possible it seems. Is the thing.
Yes.
I don't talk about it very much, and that's the problem. Is because I have it in the back of my head, like Twitch, YouTube, future jobs and story animation. I have it in my head, but I very rarely put it out. Into the world, or write it down, or talk to someone about it. So it never really seems possible or real until I talk about it. So right now, talking about it with you, it's a big jump in terms of me seeing how possible it is.
Well, if me lighting a fire under your ass is what it takes, I can do that all day, motherfucker. So I tell you what I'll do then. If you'll do a Twitch stream where you do exactly, or whatever version you want to do of what I mentioned earlier, where you'll put something together, I will edit it for you, and I'll create your first few YouTube videos and Twitch videos out of it for free. Okay. I'll just do it for you, just so you can, and I'll make content out of doing it for you, so that then you can watch my video on how I did it, and then you can do it for yourself, right?
Oh, it's a symbiotic relationship.
Exactly. We're jerking each other off on the internet. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Oh God, yeah, that's an excellent idea.
That's fucking big brain, is what it is.
An overly generous proposition. If I put it any other way.
That's what I have found. I used to be really cynical. I used to believe that that the people at the top in this industry, because in many industries, the people at the top are the ones who screwed the most people over. Truly.
Yeah.
I could get into politics and how I think Jeff Bezos is a piece of shit, but but I find in content, I find it's the people who are actually bringing the most good into the world that are the most successful. There are still some people who are screwing people over to get where they are, but those people aren't at the top. Those people aren't at the top. You know, you actually look at people like Ninja or Harris Heller or people on YouTube. I don't even know with YouTube. Roberto Blake, like the people at the tippity top are usually fucking amazing people who are absolutely doing their best to give the most value to the most people possible. And I, you know, Gary Vee, for example, I believe that wholeheartedly. So I think. I think doing things, being a good person, being a generous person, and doing stuff like that for free, just for a friend or for somebody I know, or doing stuff, spending quality time with people, giving people a lot of great things. I think that has some sort of, not that I don't believe quote unquote in karma, but I think that has some sort of effect on your traction and your momentum in the creative space. Yeah. I really think it does.
I also do not believe in karma, but I believe in logical karma, which is if you do something good, you deserve to have something good happen to you. Not that it's gonna happen, but yeah, let's say you help me, you edit these videos, and my channel blows up. You help me, and my channel blew up. Now I can and then maybe next time you edit a video, I can actually pay you like. A pile of money to help me out. And a redacted amount of money to actually help me out and help me with the channel.
I don't hate that idea.
That's logical karma, where nothing is ever going to happen by itself for the most part. There's always going to be work. There's always going to be like, you'd have to get an object to move. You have to hit it. You know, you can't just sit there and hope the rock moves. You have to actually pick it up and move it.
Yeah, and truly. If I could be what helps you succeed, I would be so happy, because not just because it would bring me pleasure to help somebody succeed, but because I've seen you the very first time you showed me one of your pieces of art. Like I can remember it so fucking clearly. We had just watched Ruby for the first time. Ruby for the first time, and I'd seen you doodle, and and I was like, oh yeah, he's pretty good. You were like, yeah, I fucked around and I drew Yang. You showed me in your notebook you had drawn Yang, and I was like, oh my God, this guy has talent. And you said, yeah, I don't really like it. I think I might throw it away. And I was like, what? So like, are you out of your mind? Like, and so I can't wait for that to be on the podcast. Everyone fucking throw their headphones off. But I was like, this kid could be a full-time artist. And then you're like, yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. I'm going to school for Parks and Rec. And I was like, no, like no. So I've wanted to see you be successful for so fucking long that if I could just be what pushes you over the edge to be successful, that I could die happy. Like
the fucking Spartan kicked me into the pit.
Exactly. Yes. If I could fucking do that, I'd be so fucking happy. Even if I saw no benefit from it, even if I saw no personal benefit, I'd be so fucking happy.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, seeing you do what you do has been one of the biggest inspirations ever for me.
So fucking cool to hear. That's so fucking cool to hear. Truly.
Like seeing you go from what we were doing in college, which is we were making really dingy videos in our tiny
really
dorm
scuffed,
room. Really scuffed, very like held together with duct tape and rubber bands.
Absolutely. I'm gonna link. I'm gonna link our old YouTube channel in the description of this. Here, I'll go fucking link it to the people in chat right now. Hold on, let me pull it up. Isaiah and I used to run a YouTube channel together, guys. We would record videos in my fucking apartment. We wanted to do it as early as when we were in the dorms together, which was like 5 years ago, which means that 5 years we've been working to get to where we are now, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
The podcast channel, which has like 3 fucking videos right now, has more subscribers than this channel that we worked for months on.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, we fucking worked at it. We recorded all different kinds of videos, and they never fucking went anywhere. And what's worse is they went backwards. We started, our first couple videos got like 60 or 70 views, and our last few got like 10 or 20. That was what was really demotivating. But But we got back up. We changed what we were doing, but we got back up. We got back at it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And now we're here.
Yeah. Doing fucking just like it's like it used to be a pipe dream. Now it's a possibility.
Yeah. Now it looks real. Now it used to be something we thought of. Now it's something we can see on the horizon.
Yeah. Now one day when we're at fucking a panel at some convention, we can talk about our dingy duct tape video.
Fuck yeah. And then and then as well we can talk about our dingy duct taped podcast where we talked about our dingy duct tape YouTube channel.
Yeah. And just you have to start somewhere, and like I said, the rock's never going to move by itself. You got to pick it up.
Fucking push it, throw it,
move it. Yeah. Push it, throw it, kick it, fucking nudge it.
Yeah. Fucking whatever you got to do, because it's going to be a bigger rock for everybody.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a different sized rock for everybody. Sometimes you can fucking chuck that thing. Sometimes you gotta fucking just roll it. Just roll it and just fucking. But God damn it, if the people at Bikini Bottom can take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else, you can get your content career going.